Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Economic Times Cutting Chai Stories brought to you by ETH. The urgency and pressure on business leaders and the incredible demands placed on them makes us often wonder how they have time for family, hobbies, or any downtime at a personal level. And let's not forget that they are mere mortals. This initiative by ETH is aimed at creating a deeper connection with them, understand their views on life and leadership, and also get a sense of what they do to unwind and recharge when they are not in business mode. It is said that one conversation can change the direction of life forever. It is also said that there is nothing better than a cup of tea to get you going. So grab your cup of tea or coffee and join me, Ivan Rodrigues, for a very exciting cutting chai conversation. Today, it's my pleasure to host Aradhana Bhola, Managing Director at Fremantle Media. Aradhana, welcome to the ET Cutting Chai Stories.
Thank you so much, Ivan. It's a pleasure to be here.
Our pleasure to host you, Aradhana. Okay, let me start by asking you, we are being hit with news right now of COVID cases increasing, and let's hope it stops somewhere and we're not in for another wave. My question for you is, pre-COVID to COVID to post-COVID, has your approach towards life, family, and the community changed? And also, has your leadership style changed in any way?
So I wouldn't really call it a change, Ivan. I think what COVID has done is it's pretty much reiterated something that I've always believed in. I wonder if you know a quick summation of that would really be the serenity prayer, right? The prayer just very simply says, God giving you the courage to accept what you can't change.
I cannot change.
Exactly, and right, whatever I can't, and then the courage to change what I can, and the wisdom to differentiate the two, right? I think COVID has reiterated that for me as a mantra for life, which applies to family, friends, work life, everything in my life. And as far as leadership is concerned and what you said, I think the major thing that has changed is agility in our business has become really important. And I don't mean agility just in terms of, for the business that we do, just in terms of production design, but I mean agility in every which way. So for instance, creative thinking, more agility within that, production design as well, how we do our commercials, how we do our deals, how we deal with everyday thing. It's what you said at the beginning of this, that we're again hearing reports of cases rising, right? So we need to definitely be more agile. And I think that has definitely come more into my leadership style and also to my organization, therefore.
Wonderful. Very well articulated. Thanks. That's a lovely note to start on. Let's go down memory lane, Aradhana. Let's start at the very beginning. If you were to go back to the early years of your childhood, school, or later college, could you let us know about any positive influences or incidents that contributed towards shaping your foundation in those formative years?
Well, right now, when you say childhood, I only look at your background, Ivan, and then I think of all those lovely stories that we've grown up on, which is beautiful. My father was in the army. And I remember as a very young child, we would go to school, and around us, there used to be this Batman system. Basically, a person was assigned to the officer to sort of take care of the officer's needs, people who are now called buddies in the army.
Right.
And I remember going to bus stops and seeing other children where the Batmans and the buddies would sort of bring their bags, carry their bags, get them out of the school bus, get them off, carry their bags again. And once saying to my father in the evening that everyone brings their Batmans along and they carry the bag, and, we have to carry these heavy bags. Why can't our bhaiya also do this, And my father was like, no, you will carry your own bag. And, someday you will thank me for it. And that's all that he said. And of course, I did carry it, so did my sisters. I came to realize as an adult, Ivan, that what my father was saying was not just about instilling this whole sense of carrying our own stuff, like discipline and, also maintaining boundaries on who's supposed to do what and respecting that. But I realized subtly he was teaching me that we all need to carry our own weight in life, and that's really stayed with me. And to this day, several times a day, I do thank him for those little things, right? So he was quite a visionary to say one day I'd thank him. I do.
Yeah.
That sort of stayed in my mind. And, that is true for me, both personally and professionally. We all need to carry our own weight. It's important.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing, Aradhana, right? In those days, it's amazing how through simple anecdotes or simple stuff that our parents, how they responded to us, they left us with some very, very important life lessons.
Yeah. That's really true, because children learn through imbibing, right? You can be saying whatever you want verbally. I have two of my own, both of whom are adults now, but they learn through imbibing more than what you tell them.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Wonderful. Aradhana, it is said, and you're in this business, you're in the creative field, so I think it's an apt question to pose to you. Mm-hmm. It is said that creative thinking is the lifeblood of any organization.
Yes.
How do you encourage it within your organization? You're seated right there at an MD's level. So how do you ensure that the new ideas keep coming?
So, we have this, I'm sure, Ivan, you've heard of it, speed dating, right? So if I may use that analogy, we have these creative sessions, these brainstorming sessions that are a bit like speed dating, where anyone and everyone, it's not just the creative people, but anyone and everyone in the company, like people are welcome to just come with one-liners, just ideas, right? And everyone can just throw them out, right? And we put them all together. And then we sort of go through them and look at, okay, which ones seem to be interesting, what could work, what's been done before, what is new. And so we have a process that we sort of do that through, and then put some through further development and see how that's happening. So that's one of the things we do very actively, because we truly believe that, as you said, ideas can come from anywhere. The other thing that we really do, I think for ideas to happen, work-life balance is very important. So we actively encourage our people to have that balance. I'm very encouraging of leave. I think it's really important when you take some time off, when you do whatever your, thing may be in life. Like for me, it's travel, right? I think there's a lot of inspiration in that, which comes back to creativity, because that's at the core of our business, as you said, right? Sure. We also have an environment where we recognize and reward creativity. So for instance, at the end of every year, we look at everything that we've created, and we actually reward people who sort of put that together. So by doing that, we're also setting an environment of not only recognizing people who've done this, but also encouraging other people to do it. And I found that quite useful. So it is core. You are right. Creativity really is core to what we do.
Sure. And it's a great way, without being very overt about it, besides rewarding your team, members who come up with these creative ideas, it's also gives them a sense of ownership, right? Because it's not just the purview of the creative domain, like you said. Anybody can come with ideas that they think might benefit the organization, and it does develop a great sense of ownership amongst your team.
Yes, absolutely. And, eventually, when you make a show, it's not just the creative team, right? It may seem like they're the helm of it, and of course they are, but it's everyone else on it, right? Right from the boy at our set all the way to the creative director, everyone's playing a role. So we truly believe that it is teamwork that makes a dream work.
Wonderful. That leads me to my next question. You talked about teamwork. You would have experienced this, Aradhana, when you lead a team such as yours and an organization such as yours. There are bound to be conflicts. There are bound to be obstacles. There's bound to be competition amongst team members. My question for you is this: how do you keep your team motivated despite all the conflicts, obstacles, and competition amongst team members?
So firstly, I have slightly different words in my vocab for this. I don't really see them as obstacles. I see them more as challenges, and that's the way I talk about them. Also, I think competition is good. We're a very ambitious company. That's one of the values that we have at Fremantle, and I think it's good. But it needs to be healthy, Ivan. That's really important, because that's when you are the best in each other. I was referring to the values that I was talking about. At Fremantle, we have these values for the organization, and one of the values that we have is family. Okay, so it's not team, it's not colleagues, it's not like it's family, and pretty much like a family where everyone has their strengths and the areas that they could work on better, right? You got to bring the best together. One of the things we do for that is something called the Free Flowing Friday. We do that on the last Friday of every month. So everyone knows that in their calendars, for 12 Fridays in a year, they got to keep themselves free. Yes. And what we do in that is we do everything but work, Ivan. So we play games. So there'll be a carom tournament, there'll be a cricket tournament. We'll do some activities. So there'll be a pottery class, there'll be a Zumba class. We'll watch a film, or sometimes we'll just go out for a picnic. Sometimes we'll go to let's clean the beach today, like whatever the thing. We do something as a team other than creating shows. So it's like that. And we eat stuff together, we chat, we share things that are happening in our lives. It's basically, we literally come together as a family to spend some time. And then we send everybody back early that day and ask them to have an extended weekend. So the last weekend of every month, unless we have a production. Of course, if we have a production, then we go back to production. If not, then we give them an extended weekend to get more time with family and friends. And I have noticed that if people meet together under fun and games, automatically the camaraderie that they build comes into our work life as well, right? And that really benefits because you start looking at each other, as I said, as family. So it's not about, oh, Ivan can't do this well, or Aradhana doesn't do this well. It's more like, Ivan does this well, maybe he can do this, and Aradhana does this well, maybe she can do this, and that's how we come together. So that's what we do.
Wow. That sounds like so much fun. I mean, great, wonderful, yeah. And it's so required. I think by your own admission, you know how tough your business is, right? It's literally moment to moment, and you've got to be on the ball in the type of business you're in on a minute by minute basis, if I may put it, because I've had a close look at this side of the business, and doing something like this is a great way for people to breathe and to connect with each other.
Smile and have fun and have stories. Yeah. I'm having coconut water with you, huh? I know you've got your.
Oh, you are?
I am.
Okay, I'm going to have my chai, then I'll have a sip on that note.
Please do.
Thanks. There are a lot of aspiring leaders, the next gen, who would be watching this beautiful cutting chai story, rather conversation. Aradhana, what advice would you give someone going into a leadership position for the first time?
Well, a couple come to mind. One would be what one of my ex-bosses said to me. He said that, give it 365 days. And he was right. Pretty much when you become a leader in whatever position that you may be becoming a leader in about 365 days, you run through a cycle of pretty much what your job is going to involve, whatever challenges may be coming your way, whatever situations you may have to deal with, figuring out what's working in your leadership style, what you need to adapt. That would be one. And the other would also be another thing that my ex-boss, Cecile, she said this very beautifully. She called me in one London sunshine morning, not a gray morning. It is a beautiful cabin. And she tells me, you're doing really well, but I think you should get some more people, get some support, and she shared an own example of hers, which I thought was great, because as a leader, she was being vulnerable and sharing something that she had been through. And I did get that support. So I think it's really, really important in leadership to also have people, have a team. None of us, all of us are superheroes at our own level, and we all have our superpowers. But imagine when they all come together, how great that is. So you've got to have people in your team who work in tandem with you. You got to align your vision, also take inputs from them on that, because there's some valuable inputs that come in, and then do that. So I think those two come to my mind immediately.
You took me down my journey in the corporate space, and I learned this lesson very early because I had a wonderful boss.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and what he said was, he said, Ivan, if you want to grow and you can grow, you need to enable yourself and your function by getting people, delegate, get players who will do the job for you so that you can move on to another position and leave that in their hands. And for a very long time, I was holding on to a lot of things because I wanted to do it the right way. But then you realize with a little bit of experience and advice such as this, that you've got to empower yourself by getting the team on board. And that frees you up to move on to other challenges.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, as you're saying this, I remember another boss of mine, Sanjeev Sharma. I've had very few bosses in life. I remember Sanjeev saying to me, he took it a step further than what you said, Ivan. He said, your job is to make me redundant.
Nice.
So that's also looking up from leadership, right? Because leaders, in the corporate world, we also have leaders, right? Above us. Right. So step by step. And he said, your job is to make me redundant. I mean, it takes a really secure person to say that. But Absolutely. These are things that you do, build support for yourself and then be the support for the person above. And that's how the ladder really works very well as a team.
Wonderful, wonderful. On that note, there's a question that's linked that I have for you. What values are most important to you as a leader?
Well, definitely creativity, Ivan. I mean, that is at the core of what we do. And creativity is important to me, even as an individual, like as a value of life. That's really important to me. I would say integrity, and integrity at various levels. So integrity in terms of the authenticity of idea, integrity in terms of the way you conduct yourself and your business practices, your culture, dealing with clients. And if I may add a third, which I was mentioning to you earlier, it would be agility. That I think is critical today, post-COVID for us. I would say those three.
Wonderful. Very well articulated and very well summed up. Okay, here's a question for you. How much of a role has luck played a factor in your life, personal, professional, whatever? Or has it just been about the qualifications that Aradhana had, the experience that she had, and the hard work that she puts in?
So I'm tempted to use Christian Grey for this one.
Okay.
this line that he has, right, where he says that it seems to me that the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have. So True. That's what I feel like saying to you right now. But yeah, sure, there are no shortcuts to hard work, Ivan. Though I do believe that it needs to be smart hard work. It's not just about putting in 18-hour days. So, yes, some days are like that. They require that, but it's not about doing that in and out. I think it's about smart hard work. I hope I've answered your question, but it just
you have, because just to give you another perspective, and I think we're saying the same thing, hopefully. Again, when it came to my life, I used to look at certain people and I say, this guy is lucky. And luck, the good thing is I had a good boss. And he said, I'll tell you, Ivan, what's the definition? His definition of luck was, he said, when preparedness meets opportunity, it's sometimes termed as luck. So those guys who get those breaks and it comes their way, they're prepared, be it the smart work that they put in, be it the hard work, be it the values that you talk about. They're not just sitting back for things to happen just because they've had 15 years of experience. So for me, that is a key takeaway.
That's what Oprah said, Ivan. Preparedness meets opportunity. That's
really?
the definition of success. That's what she said.
Okay. Interesting. She must have learned from my boss.
Good app. It's a small. Good app.
Yeah, that's a label. Yeah. Okay. Aradhana, in your opinion, how important it is, and I touched on this earlier, rather. It's a high pressure scenario, your business, and there are bound to be fallouts in terms of people getting stressed, mentally, physically. How important is it for you to recognize the aspect of the mental and physical well-being of employees? And let's take your organization. Are you devoting enough time and resources for the same?
Look, I don't think it's just important. I think it's imperative.
Right.
And more so after the pandemic. Not that we've not been conscious of this throughout. We have been, but we've actually introduced a wellness champion. So we've actually put a person, like a position there for it, whose job, all she does is really devote her time to wellness. And our approach to wellness, Ivan, is not just, as you said, right? It's not just physical. It's just so many things. And, your mental wellness, psychological wellness, emotional wellness, physical wellness, all of this is important. And we take that very seriously. So, from possible sessions, if you need that, or advice from experts like psychologists, so that's there, to we have these little 10-minute breaks. We've actually got a little small dedicated space for people to do that during their day, because sometimes you just need some quiet time. Like we said earlier, we're in the creative business, right? So your mind is very, very, very precious. And we all have lives that we lead. So you could be coming in one day when maybe your child is not well, or something's happened, or traffic's been terrible, or whatever it may be. So, we have these 10-minute breaks to just like bring you back into equilibrium, and it's perfectly fine. People can take that. So like I said, it is imperative, and we take that really seriously. And the fact that we've introduced this wellness champion is testimony to that.
Wonderful. More power to you, because increasingly that's going to be the area of focus.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think it comes, I've just had a 20-minute interaction with you, and I think it comes from the person you are, and also you talked about the value that is very important, and that's the family value. And I think it comes from there, because if it was family, we would do anything to take care of the mental, physical, emotional well-being of the members of our family. So I can see where it's coming from.
Yes.
Nice.
Thank you.
How do you unwind, Aradhana? Any interests, hobbies, activities that you indulge in? And are there any items on your bucket list that are, and I'm sure there are, that are yet to be fulfilled?
Oh, wow. I unwind in various ways, Ivan. I have multiple avenues for that.
Okay.
I think nature would be top of my list. So, and I'm not just talking about, of course, there is that open, vast nature that I long for and I indulge in when I travel, but even in other ways, like in an everyday way. So in my city apartment, it becomes this lovely walkway that we have on the 35th floor. I walk and, just seeing the lights change. In fact, I was doing that last evening, and I was just thinking, see how the sky is changing, because these days the colors are so beautiful, right?
Yes.
Transitional weather. The sky colors are changing, the lights are coming on, the birds are there, they are going home, the sun's kind of setting into the sea. So I'll make use of that in the city. My weekend home, I make use of my garden and the flowers and the birds and the bees. It's much quieter there. I will do that. That's definitely unwinding, rejuvenation for me. But I do it in other small ways as well, Ivan. So I will do it in Bombay. Traffic is something, right? Traveling for work or anything often takes a lot of your time. I'll play music. That's my way of unwinding the space, and again.
Which instrument, Aradhana? Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry?
Which instrument, when you say you play music?
No, not play as in like that.
Well, play music. Play music.
I do play the piano. But otherwise in the car, I don't think I want to be playing. I don't like the Casio so much. I like the grand piano, and I can't stuff that into my Rover. But yeah, I play music. That's there. I savor a cup of coffee. Even this. So it's a joke in the family, right? Momsy will have a coffee and she will take 1 hour to have a cup. But that's savoring to me. I steal time like that, and I enjoy it. And in my bucket, like family, friends, all of these things, books, I read whenever bedtime, I read, I journal. I have a gratitude journal that I write in every night. I haven't come hail or storm, irrespective of what time I'm going to bed. And on the bucket list, I think, look, I'm very lucky. God has been really kind. He's really blessed. The universe has really blessed all the hard work that I put in. But I think it would be travel. Travel is my biggest indulgence, and absolutely think meeting people, getting exposed to new culture, ways of life, ways of thinking. That's my indulgence. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So that's going to be your never-ending bucket list, because
Exactly.
there's so much to travel. There's so much to explore. There are so many visitors.
When we finish the Earth, hopefully we'll be going to Mars, right? So we travel all right.
Right. You know, the way you describe the bees and the sunset and the colors changing, I could see a poet in you. So you must write some poems.
Well, I read a lot of poetry, and I have,
Okay.
but yeah.
Okay. My final question in this segment for you, Aradhana, do you remember receiving your first salary? And how did you spend the money you received from that very first job?
It's pretty much how I spend it even now. I remember my first salary very distinctly. I gave some of it to the elders in the family, in particular my parents and my maternal grandmother, a big inspiration to who I am today. I used some of it as indulgence for the youngsters and my then boyfriend and now husband. So we all went out for an ice cream treat, and I put some away in the bank, as a little saving thing. And I used some of it for a local charity in my hometown, Mother Teresa's home. They still have it, Jyoti Nivas. I still go there. And I gave some there for the kids. I still remember that I asked them, what do you need? And they gave me a whole list of stuff that they wanted for the babies. So including detergent. So I took bags of that. And that's pretty much what I do with it even now. So yeah.
Wow. That's wonderful. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this conversation, Aradhana. I wish we could go on, and maybe one day we'll connect offline and have this conversation. What I'm going to do is, on that lovely note, I'm going to move on to another segment. It's called the one-word, one-line answer.
Okay.
I'm going to throw a set of questions at you.
Okay.
I'll seek your answer in a word or a line. If it's a line, I'll specify. It's a fun round. So there's no need for you to justify any of these answers. These are simple, straightforward questions. Just pick the options, give me the answers, and let's have fun. The idea is to get to know you better.
I have one life, Ivan. I have no regrets. Go for it.
Great, wonderful. Okay, kindly choose one of the two, chocolate or pickle?
Chocolate.
Wow, okay, good. Shopping online or shopping in store?
It would definitely be in store for me. I like tactile things, to feel things, touch things.
Right. Comfortable silences or incredible conversations?
Whoa, I have both, Ivan. I can't pick that.
I knew you were going to say both. I knew you were going to say both.
Both. I got to pick both. I'm greedy.
Yeah? Okay. This is the only time I'll allow you to pick both, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what you do with the next one. Test the waters or dive into the deep end?
Dive into the deep end.
Nice.
What is life without risks? I know you said.
Yeah, because that's the only way you'll test the waters. And once you're in there, you're going to learn. You're bound to learn to swim here.
Besides, I'm a good swimmer. All my life, I've been prepping for that dive, right? So I will dive, Ivan.
Yeah, absolutely. Indian music, Aradhana, or Western music?
Listen, you got to give me the thing on this. I've grown up with my father, from Mirza Ghalib to Mozart to Michael Jackson. So it has to be both. It depends on the mood. Everything.
Okay. That's fair. That's fine. Necklaces or bracelets?
Sorry, necklaces or bracelets? Necklaces.
Okay. Pani puri or safe puri?
Pani puri, spicy.
Ah, nice. Misal pav or pav bhaji?
I love misal pav, again, because of spice.
Yeah, absolutely. You can add a generous dose of whatever you want into that misal, right? To make it magical for you. You can't.
You're a foodie too, right?
Can't do it with pav bhaji because it's already come with that masala.
Yeah.
Aradhana, 3 things you never leave your house without.
My mind. Kissing my husband, my mom, my children, whoever's at home, like from family, I always kiss them when I leave home. I think those two. Third, I guess if you want to put a mundane thing, my car keys, it's always in my bag. So I don't have to come back for them.
What a lovely, warm answer to this question. This is the best answer I've ever received on a cutting chai conversation from anybody to this question. Nice, wonderful. You just made my day.
Thank you.
Name 3 all-time favorite food dishes.
I love dal chawal.
Okay.
I love dal chawal because of my grandmother, any kind of salad that my sister makes, and absolutely any dish that my mother makes, everything.
Okay, nice. Aradhana, describe your journey thus far in 3 words.
Wow, that's really Gagar mein Sagar, huh?
Go for it, because I think it'll be a beautiful answer. Don't think too much about it.
I'm just 3 words is gratitude. I'm really grateful for my journey. So gratitude, blessed, and inspiring.
Nice, wonderful. Would you rather have a month without your car or a month without the internet?
Well, I work in the business that I work in, so it would have to be a month without my car because I can always find any other mode.
Sure. Nice. If you were to be stuck in a room for 24 hours, whom would you choose to be stuck with? I'm going to give you 4 options.
Okay, I have options.
Choose one. You can't choose more than one. Okay, Aradhana?
Okay, noted.
Okay, great. So Oprah Winfrey, Cristiano Ronaldo,
okay,
Meryl Streep,
or
the Dalai Lama. Nice choices, right?
These are beautiful choices and tough ones because Meryl is one of my favorite actresses. Cristiano, I like his game, so I like what he does with that. The Dalai Lama, I've had the fortune of meeting. I love his laughter. I love the way he leads his life. And Oprah is one of my favorite authors. So this is a really tough one. Wow, this is really tough. But you know what? I would pick Oprah.
Good. Wonderful. If you were a kitchen appliance, which one would you be and why?
I would probably be the mixie, right? Okay. Because I'm good at mixing things up, like, putting the right things together and then concocting something out of it. That's what I do as a leader, right? Put all the best things, all the best ideas. I'm forever doing that. So I think I'd be that.
That's wonderful. What a lovely answer. Aradhana, complete the sentence, please. I'm most happy when ... Complete the sentence.
I'm most happy always, Ivan.
Good.
State of being. It has nothing to do with external things. I'm most
Absolutely.
happy.
Absolutely. Wonderful. What a lovely answer. Each day I get older, I realize that ...
Life is too precious to have any regrets.
Okay, let me ask you this. If you had your own talk show, whom would you invite as your first guest? And you can't name any of the 4 options that I gave you.
I was definitely going to cheat and quickly pick the Dalai Lama.
Let's add some more color to this, no? Because we know that you love all of them. So
you're giving me options?
Think about it. There are so many. I can throw some options at you.
Go for it.
Go for it? Okay. There's Steffi Graf, there's Ratan Tata, there's Sashi Tharoor, there's Julia Roberts, there's Al Pacino, Mr. Bachchan, Lionel Messi, Anthony Hopkins, Sir Anthony Hopkins, Indra Nooyi, Deepak Chopra, Michelle Obama.
This is Ivan. You're really mischievous. You kind of figured me out with these psychological questions in the name of a game, and then you're throwing really tough choices. Smart boy. I can tell that about you. All of these would be great. I could pick any because it's my job to create stuff around them. I would have fun with any of them. Essentially, what I would look for is really someone who's led a rich life. And by rich, I don't mean wealth necessarily, but really experiences, right? Because in my opinion, those are the best conversationalists. And I pick any of these. There's some great lives in here. Great.
That was a very smart move on your part to ask me to give you options.
Yeah, because you gave me all good ones anyway. So.
Final question in this segment, Aradhana. Life is incomplete without fill in the blanks. Life is incomplete
love. Love. It's the answer to everything, Ivan, in life. Love.
We need more of it. We need more of it.
It's never enough.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Aradhana Bhola, Managing Director at Fremantle Media. You know, Aradhana, I had such a rollicking time, a very enriching conversation for me. Thank you for speaking from the heart. I really loved your responses to each question that I posed to you. I'm reminded of a quote as we come to the close of this conversation. And this is by John Quincy Adams. And he says that if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. And you are an epitome of this quote, Aradhana. And there is another, it's a Chinese proverb which says that it's not the cry, but the flight of a wild duck that leads the flock to fly and follow. And you touched upon this, and I think you do more rather than talk, and you walk the talk, as a result of which I think you've got a great team behind you. So it's not the cry, but the flight of a wild duck that leads, and you're that wild duck for me.
First, right?
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun, Ivan. Thank you so much for having me here. And it's been fun talking to you. I love your backdrop again. And we should meet at some point and explore all the others.
Sure. So keep flying like the wild duck, and more success to you, Aradhana. Our best wishes to you, to Fremantle Media, and to your family. All the best.
Thank you, Ivan. Same to you.